Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Email Marketing Quickstart. It is 2 o'clock, so we'll start directly on time. Hope everyone is doing great. So the first question we have on our agenda, what is the number one app on smartphones? Well, it's email. More people own a mobile phone than own a toothbrush, which means huge opportunities for success through email. People read it. Email marketing is hard to beat. 91% of people check their email daily, and 88% regularly check email on their smartphones, more than social media or videos. Well, it's also reliable. It's clear that email is everywhere, but what does this mean for your business? Email gets delivered about 90+% of the time, while Facebook posts reach just about 2% of the fans that people have due to the changing of Facebook's algorithms and a lot of other information that goes into how Facebook posts items. So you might ask yourself, well, why email? Well, because it works everywhere. It has about 3 times the conversion rate of social media, so the time you spend to create and send an email will reap higher rewards. For every $1 spent on email marketing, there is a $44.25 average return on investment, which means the money you're spending on email marketing will probably come back to you multiple times over. And all this information and all the numbers that we're going to look at today are going to come to us from Constant Contact. I'm a partner with Constant Contact, so all the research and the statistics are going to come directly from them. This one came from, as you can see on the bottom, Forrester. So it's all heavily researched. Now, first impressions matter. When someone opens your email, they'll give it a 2-second glance and then either read on or delete it. What they see is going to determine what they do next. Maybe you want them to visit your website, register for an event, donate to your nonprofit, or try a new product. This is where a professional-looking email designed to drive action is crucial. And first and foremost, what we want is consistency. You want a similar look and feel, as people won't be spending too much time in an email. And we want to establish brand right away. So let's talk about a master template. This is the template you can create and reuse, always making a copy of the master to send out for your email. So it's going to include all of these items that we see on the page. And these elements ensure that your email looks like your brand and includes details that encourage your audience to take action. A master template is really the first step in helping you to create consistent, great-looking emails in a short amount of time. You save time because you're using your master template as a starting point and plug in the content that's specific to each campaign. And that means changing the subject line and pre-header text, adding a supporting image in your message body, and a call to action in the copy of that master template. And that's why today we're going to talk about how to create that email campaign beyond just the basics. We're going to show you how to add in your text and all the elements to make your emails look great. So let's take a look, and more specifically, what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about how to grow a list, write the content of your email, and how you can add in supporting visuals to catch their attention. We're going to talk about how to design a great call to action. We'll provide some examples and best practices. And lastly, we're going to talk about how to finalize and send your email campaign. Now we'll talk a little bit about housekeeping. We'll take, feel free to put any questions in the chat or in the Q&A. We'll get to them after the bulk of the presentation, probably take around 30-35 minutes. I am Vito Curcuru, founder of Consult Vito. There's my phone number, my email address, and my website. On my website under events, you'll see there are multiple events coming up. Next week, March 31st, make your website work for you. April 21st, get more opens with great subject lines. And April 28th, reach customers online with Google. So the March 31st one will be a Grow with Google webinar. April 21st will be a Constant Contact webinar. And April 28th will again be a Grow with Google webinar. This is being given to you on behalf of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, of which I'm the president of the board of directors, and presented to you in partnership with Consult Vito, Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, and Constant Contact, of which I'm a certified partner. I can tell you all about email on a separate call. We can talk about your marketing goals. I do offer free consultation to anyone on behalf of the chamber to talk about your marketing, what you're doing, what you might want to do, give you some free advice. There is no obligation. And we do specialize in digital marketing at Consult Vito, social media, advertising, public relations, and much more. So there's my contact info. And you may want to use my email address if you're interested in getting a copy of the slides. I will send them to you. Also, this will appear on the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce YouTube channel, in case you missed it. I'll also sign everyone up for my email list where I give everyone tips monthly on marketing. It is mostly informational in terms of the content, providing you free guides, free white papers, etc. So let's talk on a high level, some ways you can grow your list to have more people to send to. Well, there's a variety of ways people can sign up to your list, but the best way is to get permission, of course. Have people say yes to receiving emails from you. They may verbally request to receive your emails, check a box to sign up during the checkout process, or take action to sign up through an online form. Regardless of how they sign up, they need to know that they're going to receive emails from your organization. Getting permission is important, and there are a variety of ways you can do it and tools that will help you along the way. So let's talk about all the ways you can get people to sign up and give you that permission. I'd like you to think back to the last time you signed up for an email list, and more specifically, how you signed up. Maybe you were in store making a purchase, and they asked you, or maybe you saw a link to sign up on their Facebook page, or a pop-up came up on someone's website. Think about that. How did you sign up? And there's really three categories of list growth, because not all customers, clients, or leads are going to find you right away. And it's really important that when you're interacting with current potential customers or supporters, to make sure you have a way of contacting them in the future. So when people are making a purchase, or you're helping someone on the phone or in your office, and don't forget about events, trade shows, or even networking opportunities. You could use a paper sign to add people to an account or an app on your phone, and most apps will sync the signups directly into your account. Plus, you won't have to worry about trying to read handwriting. And you can set them on an autoresponder list. So as soon as they sign up, they'll start receiving a welcome email. And the permission is documented if you get to use an app. So not all customers are going to see you online. So we also need to take our physical presence into consideration. Think about where people see you in the physical world. You want to share a way to sign up. So it could be signage while they make that purchase, could be on a business card, flyers, brochures. All of those areas are ways to get those emails, and text, of course. So the way you want to grow that list online, think about all the ways people are finding you online. Your website, social media is a great opportunity. You can add an app to your page on Facebook through Constant Contact. Think about using your email outside of contact when you're Constant Contact, where you're directly conversing and answering questions with current and potential customers or clients. Make sure to add a link to your sign-up form in your email signature. Make sure you're involving anyone on your staff who communicates via email with current and potential customers. So there's those three buckets of categories of ways to grow your email list and the different ways within each task to ask people to sign up. Remember to be sure to obtain each of your contacts' permission before emailing them. So let's switch gears and talk about writing the email. You want to make sure that there's a variety of ways and you're leveraging every single one of them. What types of emails are you going to send? First part to establish. And you can see here two different types of emails, these are for the nonprofit world. There's time-based emails. There's one that are sales, promotions, or events, informational emails, focusing on sharing information that helps you to connect with your readers. And that's where you can provide valuable content that helps to support your products and services, keeps people in the know about what you do. So There's a lot of different ways you can use that master template. And time-based, informational, etc. First, now let's start about getting that subject line. You can try using you or your to make your email feel more personal to your audience. Plus, you might also consider personalizing your subject line with each contact's name or other contact details to try and catch their attention. One example subject line might look something like, John, your scheduled consultation is ready. Another option is to create a sense of urgency. The example is, last chance, register by Friday. Another is to make your readers laugh with a joke or a pun. Could be read between the wines if you're a liquor store or if you're a winery. You could also try to pull at their heartstrings by using an emotional subject line, like take 5 minutes to help children in need. Another strategy is to try piquing their interest and tease them a bit with something such as, you won't want to miss this. Another idea is to be inquisitive and ask your readers a question with a headline, such as, are your investments working for your business? And last but not least, try and incorporate numbers. Numbers attract attention as our brains are naturally drawn to digits. So try something like 5 tips for perfectly grilled ribs. Any of these ideas I've shared can be adjusted to work for any type of business. Now that you've got some great ideas, let's talk about what not to do. Don't type in all caps or use excessive punctuation or even use too many symbols. Don't mislead people. Using regarding in your subject line infers there's been an ongoing conversation, and subscribers will feel duped. These types of things can land you in an email spam folder. So keep them in mind so your customers actually get to see your message in their inbox. Now that you have ideas for the subject line, let's go back and talk about another section of your header information, and that's the pre-header text. Pre-header text displays right after or below the subject line within the inbox. The pre-header text is where you can add a little context to the content of your email without sharing the answer. We recommend writing pre-header text that is between 5 to 8 words. Just keep in mind that all email programs and devices will show different lengths of your pre-header. Just make sure the most important information is at the very beginning. You could use your email's pre-header text in a variety of ways, whether you add your call to action, preview content, or even add a sense of urgency to your email. Just remember to use it as an extension of your subject line. Now let's go to some ideas on the pre-header text. First subject line said, John scheduled your consultation today. Now the pre-header text expanded on that to say, personalized tips to lead a happy life. The pre-header text for this example lets the reader know what they're going to get out of their consultation. Take a look at the second example. The subject line said, last chance, register by Friday. The pre-header text expands on that sense of urgency to provide a call to action that they should register soon so they don't miss out. In the next example, the subject was read between the wines, something that should catch their attention with a sense of humor. The pre-header text says, enter your photo for a chance to win big. Lets the reader know a little bit more about what's in the email. Here's the next subject line pulling at the reader's heartstrings by saying, take 5 minutes to help children in need. In the pre-header text, they again provide more details to entice people to take action by saying $10 can provide a child with school supplies. In the next subject line, they pique the reader's interest with, you won't want to miss this. It's vague enough so that the pre-header text, get our 3 secrets to growing your business, expands just a little more to let people know they'll get some great information by reading the email. Now let's go back to the subject line and asking a question. Are your investments working for your business? It gets the reader thinking, and then seeing the pre-header, which says 3 questions to maximize results. It lets them know they'll benefit by reading the email. And here's the last example with a subject line using numbers and saying 5 tips for perfectly grilled ribs. The pre-header text that was paired with it says ribs that will knock your socks off. It should make the reader think, okay, well, these tips must be great. Definitely need to see what this email says. At this point, we've seen some examples that will hopefully inspire you to write great subject lines and pre-header text that will encourage your audience to open and take action in your emails. As you can see, you can use a variety of strategies to craft the perfect subject line. Let's move on and talk about the body of the email. For those of you who have been following along over the last couple of months, you remember that every email needs an image or supporting visual. Your image needs to be inspiring and help customers, prospects, and supporters connect with your message and entice people to take action. It's usually best to utilize real photos from your day-to-day operations to help better tell your story and inform readers about what's going on inside of your business. Plus, you won't have to worry about copyright issues or trying to find images on stock photo sites. Most cell phones are able to capture great images, so encourage yourself and your employees to capture things that are happening at your business or organization. Think about your events, the work of your staff, the end result of the project, and of course, your products and services. These all make great photo opportunities for your organization. You could point out one or two people to take photos for you on a regular basis and upload them into your library. That way, you'll have a continual flow of new images, and you can pick the perfect image for each email message. If you find the need for other images, you can find free and paid stock images directly in a Constant Contact account, or you can import stock photos from any site. But the most important thing is to make sure they support your message and add value to your message. And of course, you want to make sure you have permission to use the image. Visuals are an essential part of your email. Just keep in mind, video as well as animated GIFs can also make great visuals to use in place of images in your emails. These are additional ways to help you build relationships and make connections with your readers. Using videos in an email can boost open rates by 8 times. Just be sure to add the word video in the subject to further increase your open rate. The other option for visuals is to add an animated GIF. If you're not sure what an animated GIF is, it's a way to add movement to your emails like this example on the right. You can use a GIF to create a slideshow effect with multiple images or even show a quick snippet of a video. Stats show that emails with GIFs typically get a 12% higher return on investment over those without GIFs. So I definitely suggest using a variety of different kinds of visuals in your emails. Images, videos, and GIFs can be easily added to your Constant Contact email campaigns and can help you engage people and encourage them to take action. Now that we have added a supporting visual, you need to figure out what to write in the body of that email. This is one of the things that seems to trip people up, knowing what to say and how to say it. So we're going to provide a structure you can use that will encourage people to take action. We're going to break it down into 3 questions you want to answer for the type of business or organization you have. The first set of questions is for any of you who are a for-profit business. First question is, what are you offering? From a design perspective, this is your headline, and its goal is to stop the reader, pique their interest, and make them want to read more. That leads them into the next part, which is your message body. For this, you want to answer the question, how will it help the reader? This is where you want to provide some details that entice people to take action. Typically, you only need 3 to 5 sentences, but make sure you provide just enough information to get your reader the information they need. And the third question is the call to action. For this, you want to answer, what should they do next? Tell them specifically what it is you want them to do, and make sure the call to action is easy to find and click on within your email. You might ask them to make a purchase, schedule a consultation, or even get more information. This simple formula will help you to write your emails text, and these 3 questions will work for any for-profit business. Now that we know those questions, let's talk about nonprofits. For your headline, you want to answer, what are you trying to accomplish? Then in your message body, you want to answer, why should the reader care? And this is where you want to elaborate on the problem and provide details that explain why they matter to your reader. Then for the call to action, you'll want to answer, how can the reader get involved? Invite them to take part in solving the problem and helping your cause. Your call to action could be feed a hungry child, give clean water, or something like give now to the shelter, help the puppies and the kittens that you have in the shelter. We're going to talk more about your call to action in just a few minutes. At this point, we've covered what to put in the body of your email campaign. Before we move on, I want to touch base on how important it is to keep your email simple. Simplicity makes an email easy to read and quicker for you to create each email. In order to inspire your readers to take action, you've got to keep your email short and sweet. When you copy your master template, you really only need to add a picture, paragraph, and your call to action. This is how you're going to create successful emails for your business in a timely manner. Now that you know how to add the content of your email, let's move to the next section. How to design your call to action. And call to action, or CTA, is what I use to drive your emails, is what you're going to use to drive your email reader to take action. Whether it's to sign up to volunteer or make a purchase, your call to action is what's going to help you to reach your goals. Every email you send should include one call to action, even if it's as simple as driving people to your website to find out more information, to read your blog, or simply see your list of products or services. In your email, you want to include a button with actionable words that link directly to where people can go and take that action. There's probably a million different call to actions you could have and different ways you can approach them, but let's take a look at a few different examples based on different goals you may have. The examples I'm going to share in the next couple of minutes are going to be the text that goes out on your button. If you want people to make a purchase or get involved, your call to action might be order yours today. They're going fast, get yours, schedule a consultation, or even donate now if you're a nonprofit. In an example like this, you could link to an online scheduling tool or direct them to a page where they can buy your product or service. Your call to action can be as simple as you want, or you can get creative. Again, just let people know what you want them to do. The next set of actions are great if you're going to give your audience a deal. They might click a button that says save now, or you might have a button that says buy now and get 10% off. You could also have them click to claim your coupon, or even something that goes along with the holiday and ask them to unwrap their surprise deal. Think about pairing your call to action with a coupon in your email and explain the limitations and exclusions of your offer as well. For anything like this, you can link to a page where they can make a reservation or take advantage of your offer. So let's move on to the next set of examples if you want to grow your social reach and promote your channels. For this, you might ask them to be your friend, like you on Facebook. Ask, are you following us? Or even get more specific and ask them to share a photo on Instagram. There's a variety of ways to have a call to action. And in this example, they're having a contest on Instagram by having people share photos of their favorite menu items at the restaurant. They link their button to the Instagram page. Another common goal for small businesses is to gather feedback and reviews. In this case, a call to action might be as simple as, tell us how we did. Do you love us? Tell us. Or even, have you 5 minutes? Leave a review. Testimonials and reviews, as you know, are pretty important to every business. Well, let's take a look at a couple more examples. Register now. Count me in. Save my spot. I'll be there and don't miss this event. In this example in email, they're using the RSVP block in Constant Contact that allows their users to respond with, I'll be there, maybe, or I can't make it. As you can see, you have a lot of different options for writing the text on your email's button for the call to action. Now let's talk about the other part of creating a successful call to action. And of course, that's your linking button. There we go. Your linking button, in most cases, you're going to want to link that up so people can take the action directly from your email. Whether they need to find more information on the topic, register for the event, volunteer to make a purchase, you want them to really make it easy. You want to really make it easy for them, and you want to direct them to the exact page. I'm sure those who've attended past webinars remember all of this, but you don't want to link them to a general page where they have to figure out what you want them to do. The chances of them completing that action decreases when they have to do any searching. At this point, you have some great ideas for a successful call to action. So let's get to finalizing and sending that email campaign and bringing everything together. Let's recap. Let's always remember those 3 questions that you want to write your content. What are you offering? How will it help the reader? What should they do next? For nonprofits, what are you trying to accomplish? Why should the reader care? And how can the reader get involved? If you're in business to make money, you'll want to ask yourself all of those questions, because that's going to serve as the headline to the text of your email. Specifically, what are you offering? Then for the message body, you're going to answer how will it help that reader. And for the next button, you're going to answer what should they do next. And remember that those nonprofit questions are very similar to what are you trying to accomplish? Why should they care? And how can they get involved? And don't forget, every email should have that call to action that's going to help you reach your goal. That third question will help you to set up the text on your button. And lastly, always use the preview feature to send yourself and a friend a test copy of your email. It's important to test out your links and make sure that everything is displaying as you intended, and always going to your entire list. Now, I want to give a quick call out to Constant Contact. A lot of things you may or may not know. There is an email product, of course. There's also a website product, social ads and management, so you can post Facebook ads. They also will create logos, and there's an e-commerce component right now to Constant Contact. So these are all new products you may or may not have heard of, but they are all available. I can get you a free trial if interested. But most importantly, we'll get to some questions and answers now. And it looks like we have a question. No. This recording will be available on the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce YouTube page. And I can also, with no problem at all, send out the, happy to send out the slides to anyone. Also happy to, on behalf of the Chamber, talk to anyone about their email or any other program they have. It is, again, it's a discovery session. There is no charge. I offer it on behalf of the Chamber as a service to help our members. We're also willing to help non-members as well. We're based in Southeast Michigan, so we have no problem sharing as much information as we can, because quite frankly, we know marketing can be kind of a difficult, a difficult endeavor. So we do want to share. That. Oh, let me see. So we had, were there any other questions? Looks like we have a question about, let's see. Question about email with the pre-header and the subject lines. They don't have to necessarily work together, but generally speaking, one will probably work with the subject line is your most important line. The pre-header text will often work with it in terms of further explaining it. But you can also highlight something else that's in that email, such as a video that you're embedding. So that's a good question. There's a lot of information on pre-header and subject lines. And again, we shared some of that. If you missed any of the numbers that we gave as far as lengths of subject lines or pre-header, it is in the slides, or I can just I can answer that question pretty easily too. So, are there any other questions? Looks like we are broadcasting this live on the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce Facebook channel. It is a new test for us going forward on the Facebook channel, so you will be able to follow, if you're not following the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, I do recommend it. We are having another event tomorrow that we'll broadcast live for our Women's Inspiration Network. It's going to be a great event. It's I think 8:30 in the morning. It's on the Facebook page, and it's also on our website. So I encourage everyone to take a look there, and I appreciate everyone's patience today as far as any technical glitches we may have had. It's the first time the Chamber has broadcast to the Facebook page. So let's see. Again, someone's asking a little bit about the next couple of webinars. So I have them here on the screen. Make your website work for you. We're really going to cover making sure that your website is working properly. So there's a lot of things people ask, how can I get search engine optimized? And How can I build a website knowing that it's going to do what I ask it to do? So we're going to cover a lot of those basics. This is a Grow with Google webinar. And the reason I'd recommend it is because obviously Google knows exactly how to get you the best website in terms of what they do. And that leads in the April 28th webinar. A lot of people will ask me, Vito, how do I get, they've heard of search engine optimization, but they want to increase their Google organic reach. They want to, appear higher in search. This is all going to address that on April 28th, specifically on those Google products. We're going to talk about that free Google My Business listing, advertising your business on Google. We're going to talk about those Google products and what Google recommends you do. That is a Grow with Google webinar. The Chamber is a Grow with Google partner, which means we have access to exclusive content, and we give that out as a webinar. So those two, a lot of people have asked. So when I run the marketing consultancy that I run, a lot of questions people have, I don't charge to give answers to because I know it's basic information that can be found easily. So why not, establish a relationship and a friend in the marketing world? And these two webinars are really going to address two of the biggest questions I get in terms of, I want my website to appear higher in organic search, or I'm not real sure how AdWords works. And we did do a Google AdWords webinar. It is on the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce YouTube page. And that Get More Opens with Great Subject Lines is going to be a deep dive into subject lines. It's going to talk about the trends. This is all going to be constant contact research. And it's going to be specific in terms of, hey, here's some examples of great subject lines. So these webinars, again, I do them on behalf of the Chamber. And the big reason is marketing is hard right now. It's very difficult to understand. Digital can be complex. And there is information that is readily available. It's just hard to find. And people have some basic questions, and we try and give answers through the Chamber. And we do have a lot of other events in the Chamber as well. We're going to have a Connect with an Expert. We'll have an attorney talking about estates and trusts and wills and a lot of other activities that you may want to jump into. So looks like we don't have any more questions. Last chance to ask a question. Give it a minute here, and we'll be able to wrap up early. I know this is kind of a short webinar, but it's really packed with some good information. So, any more questions or comments or anything? Also, again, you have my email address. You have my website. Under the events section, you'll see more events, and there's my phone number. If you have any questions or want to reach out to me. Well, I appreciate everyone's time and look forward to seeing you again on the next webinar next Wednesday at 2 p.m. There's a registration link on the on westbloomfieldchamber.com, the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce website. There's also one on my website. There's a Facebook has it as well, and also our LinkedIn page. So a lot of ways to find us and get involved and start to get some information that we hope will move your business forward. Let's see. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate your